If you are wondering how to invest $1,000, then today's video is for you. We are going to talk about the best way to invest $1,000 depending on your age and what your goals are. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier. So let's dive right in. All right, you have money to invest, you have that $1,000 and you are wondering what to invest in. Today, I'm going to break down different investment options for you, and these are things that I have actually invested in. First off, when you are investing your money, I want to make sure that you already have an emergency fund set up and you have already paid off your high interest debt. Those are two things that are pretty big deals when we're looking to invest our money. We don't want to create more debt by having an emergency come up and not being able to pay for that emergency. And for me personally, I like keeping my emergency fund in a high interest savings account. I like using Ally. They have a rate at about 4.25% right now. So I would highly recommend putting your emergency fund into a high yield savings account, especially if it's just going to be sitting there for the long term. And this emergency fund can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. I personally like keeping as little as possible in my emergency fund because I have access to cash in other areas. If I needed to cash out some of my investments, I could definitely do that and pay for some type of emergency. Or I could put it on a credit card and create some extra income within 30 days, and then I can pay off that credit card without paying any interest. So just think of different emergencies that could come up. For example, maybe you would need to pay your auto deductible, or even your homeowner's insurance deductible, or your health insurance deductible. Or if you do own a home, maybe your furnace might go out, or your air conditioner, so you would need money in order to take care of that. So just make sure you have your emergency fund set up. And then as far as high interest debt, we want to pay that off first because most likely we're not going to make more money by investing it than we would if we were to pay off a high interest debt. For example, if we have credit card debt around 18% interest, then we would definitely want to pay that off first and then start investing our money. Okay, the first investment that I want to talk about that you could invest in would be the stock market. This is a very easy way to invest your money, and it does not take a lot of money to get started in the stock market. Honestly, you can start with $5. I have a video breaking that down. I'll leave a link above. You can check it out later on. But if you have $1,000, then this is a great way to get your money invested and get it working for you right now, because it is very simple to invest in the stock market. I have plenty of videos where I go over exactly how to do this. I even have a free masterclass where I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market. I will leave a link below in the description. You can click on that link and check out the free masterclass. But nonetheless, if we are young and we want to start building our wealth, we can definitely invest in stocks inside of the stock market. And an easy way to invest in stocks is to pick a fund, an index fund, that has a whole bunch of stocks inside of it. That way we are diversifying our investing and we don't have to worry about losing all of our money. And we can also get really good returns. On average, the US stock market has returned 10%. So you can definitely invest that first $1,000 into the stock market, into stocks, so that you can grow your wealth. And honestly, if you are just getting started and you have time to build up your wealth, I would definitely do all in stocks. There are index funds that have bonds inside of them, but I would not invest in those if you have a long time to invest your money. Because the way I like to look at this is if I invest in stocks, I'm looking at growing my wealth. And if I invest in bonds, I'm looking at preserving my wealth. So for me personally, all of my stock market investments are in stocks right now because I still want to grow my wealth over time. And by going with an index fund, we are able to invest in a lot of different companies inside of just one fund. So we could do our full $1,000 into a certain index fund and get it all invested at once. And honestly, the studies that have been done show that if we have a lump sum of money to invest, that it's better to get it invested right away rather than dollar cost average. rather than taking a certain amount and investing it slowly over time. For example, with our $1,000, we don't want to just invest $100 over the period of 10 months. We just want to get that money invested and get it growing right away. That way we are going to make even more money. And if you are looking to just invest in one stock, in one company, you can do that. A lot of brokerage firms offer what is called fractional share investing. So if that stock that you want to purchase costs $2,000 for a share, then you can look for a brokerage firm that does fractional share investing, and you can invest just $1,000 inside of that one company instead of waiting until you have $2,000 to invest. And I have another video breaking down fractional share investing. I will leave a link above. You can check it out later on. And honestly, the earlier that we can invest this $1,000, then the more we can take advantage of compound interest and have our money grow exponentially for us. And not only that, once we start investing, we become more familiar with investing and get better and better at investing. And then the second item on how to invest $1,000 is to invest in our education. And I think this one is really important, especially when we are younger, in our 20s and even in our 30s. The more that we can educate ourselves about how to make more money, then the more money we are going to make. I know I have personally invested in my own education. I did a formal education. I have a bachelor's in marketing and an MBA. And then I've also invested in different courses that have taught me specific skills. For example, I invested in a course that taught me how to launch my first course. And I also invested in a course that helped me build up my YouTube channel. And then I'm also investing in coaching for my business. Education is definitely another way that we can invest our money, because if we are educating ourselves and creating a skill that is going to help us increase our income over time, then we're actually going to have more money to invest over time. And one of the educational experiences that I invested in was a certain coach. She's a business coach, and I invested a significant amount of money with her, but then I was able to make that money back and make even more money. So it was well worth my investment. So when we are looking at investing in education, we can't just think that we are spending our money and wasting it, that it is gone instantly, because we are trading that money for education, for the skills and knowledge to increase our own income along the way. And we can also invest in things that aren't $1,000, that are pretty low cost. For example, I have a book that I have written titled You Will Become Financially Free, and this goes over the steps I took to become financially free so that you can take these same steps and apply them to your own life to create financial freedom for yourself. If you're interested in my book, I will leave a link to it below in the description. You can click on that link and get your very own copy. And going along with investing in education for ourselves, we want to make sure that when we are investing in those educational things, that we are applying what we are learning. We don't want to just continue to learn and not have the application part, because that is a huge part in order to increase our income over time. If we just constantly learn and consume content, then that is not going to be a good investment for us, because we aren't applying what we are learning. And then the third item on how to invest $1,000 is to start your own business. And I know this is not for everyone, but if you do have an interest in starting your own business, $1,000 can be a great starting investment for our own business, especially if we are providing services and we do not have physical products that we have to purchase. When I was first starting my business, it did not cost that much to get things started. I did have to purchase a domain and hosting, but honestly, a lot of people don't even have their own websites now. They just use social media, which is completely free. But I think it's nice to have some of those tools, like a scheduling tool that we can invest in and help take a little stress off building our business. And even if you don't want your business to turn into your full-time gig, that's totally fine. It's a nice way to create a little extra income for yourself. And also it's going to give you a lot of education, which can in turn help you in your 9-to-5 job. And it's also something that you can be proud of because you created it yourself. I know I have found that for me. It's always amazing to me that I'm able to create this information and coach people just with the knowledge that I have and be able to help people. And it's something that I created. When I had my 9-to-5 job, we were selling food storage. and I was selling someone else's product. I was marketing their product, which was fine, but when I started my own business and started marketing my own product, it is very different from marketing someone else's product. And it's really cool to say that you created this thing and people are actually buying it. And when you are deciding what to invest this $1,000 in, you want to set some goals with yourself. What do you want to achieve with this $1,000? And that is going to help you make the best investment for your $1,000. Comment below and tell me how you're going to invest your $1,000. I'm curious to know. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more great content from me, make sure and check out those videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.